Well, if you're hearing that song, that means once again it is Monday night at 8 p.m., which means it's time for another episode of Effin Rager. Hey, everybody, this is your host, Connor Clifton, joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Ned Gale. Ned, how the heck are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, feeling like a human firework on New Year's freaking Eve.
Wait a second. Why are you talking about New Year's Eve so much?
Well,
You've been talking about it since before the show, now on the show. What's going on?
Well, today's the day, my friend. Stick your head out the window, ask a passing by child. He'll tell you.
Hang on a second. You there, what day is it? He flipped me off. All right, well, apparently it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Happy New Year's Eve, Ned. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Because you need a lot of them.
Yeah, I think my resolution right now is just to avoid it. You know, like any resolution. I want to try to stay as the same as possible. I want to be this next year at this time. That's my resolution.
Well, I knew you last year, and I think you're on a good track for it.
Yeah.
Well, then let's just jump into it. Let's get to the meat of the topic. What everybody out there wants to know, Ned, how was your freaking weekend?
Oh, my freaking... What day is it?
Yeah, how long have you been on vacation?
A week and a half? Maybe a week? I don't know. It's been... My weekend has been endless. It's been lost. I've seen a lot of rock and roll shows, a lot of comedy shows. I think I did comedy at one point. I did improv.
Yeah, I saw you did improv last week.
No, it's been good. It's been really good. Getting ready for that Bowie Elvis Fest. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, well, hang on a second, buddy. Wait until the plug.
Plugs at the end. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. What about you? How's your weekend been?
I worked. I had a 15-hour shift at the factory yesterday.
Sick.
So today I didn't want to get out of bed. Probably going to go back home after this and do the exact same thing.
I thought you left the house and I was like, Connor, are you here? And I walked into your room. You said your hat on your head like a dad.
Yeah, I have so much natural light. I got to put the hat onto my head. Sometimes the light's so good in there, I just want to get out of town. And speaking of out of town, our guest today, all the way here.
Pretty clean.
Yeah, hey, we've been doing it this long. Everybody, the guest that we have for you today, these people are going to end up being the it couple of Boston comedy. Please, everybody, welcome Sean Connolly and Mairéad Dickinson. Hi.
Hey.
Are you guys coming in?
There they is.
Hey.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
I'm in.
Mairéad?
Am I?
Yeah, there she is.
There you are.
Oh, your gains are down. That's why. We get to
Dude, you guys got to get those gains.
Yo, you got to gain.
New Year's resolution, more gains.
Hot dog. I think we got it.
Hot dog.
All right. Okay, cool. Hey, thanks for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it. How was when did you guys get into town?
The 17th?
Yep.
Yeah, the 17th of December.
I've been paying attention to y'all on social media. Y'all are performing, it seems, every night.
Almost every night.
Basically every night, except
Heck
for one
yeah.
night when my tooth fell out.
Wait, what?
Was it your last baby tooth?
Thank
No.
God. I've been waiting for a long time. Now
Dude,
I can finally marry her.
That's a good cash out. Like, the older you get, the more those teeth are worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wait, so what
one
happened
of my
with your-
student loans.
I bit into a very soft cookie,
Whoa.
and I forgot that half of my back tooth was fake, and it fell off. Because it's been 8 years, but I guess that's what you do.
Whoa, what kind of cookie was it?
A sugar cookie, made it myself.
Very soft. Super soft.
By your own cookie?
I know, taste of my own medicine.
Savage.
You said the back of your tooth?
Yeah.
Like one of the molars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought just like some. Never mind.
Behind half
Oh,
of it.
yeah. One of the front teeth, like
That
the
is
back
split
fell
in
off,
half.
and it just like, yeah. I don't know. I
Felt like sheets of ice off the back of your...
Look, if you've been
Jeez.
listening to this show ever, you know I'm an idiot. I don't know how teeth work.
If you've caught the last any episodes.
I still call them choppers. I don't know what's going on with teeth. Okay, so other than that, I mean, we've seen.
Wait, did you do you have a new thing in there, or are you just like
No.
riding
no,
dirty? I don't know what you would say.
Yeah, riding dirty.
Riding dirty.
You just-
Toothless.
Are you
Fresh gum.
cleaning it? Like what do you have to do?
Try to stay away from it. And I just chew on the other side of my mouth and try to pretend like it didn't happen.
Give it space. That's good. I like
Give it
that.
space, yeah.
I think I'd probably approach that the same way, honestly.
Now,
Forever.
Yeah.
now up in Boston, Sean, this question's for you. You produced the Wootenanny Show.
Yeah, the comedy festival.
It's a comedy Wootenanny Comedy Festival. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, it's a week's worth of shows in Worcester, Massachusetts. the Montrose of Massachusetts.
Hell yeah, man.
We do typically 2 shows a night, all different types of shows, anything from an all women lineup to we had a game called Pick a Side Stupid, where it's just like a debate show where comedians just debate dumb topics.
Ooh.
We had a show from Philadelphia called Weeding Out the Stoned, where there are 16 comics on stage and only one of them is not high, and the audience has to figure out who it is
Before they all sober up.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
ticking clock.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really fun. It was a
What do
blast
you
last year.
What do you win if you find out who's the sober person?
They all get the audience gets prizes. Yeah,
Okay.
such a different. It's
You get to
usually
smoke 'em out.
Kinda. It's like usually sponsored by somebody, some 420 friendly company that gives out free
Now,
stuff.
in Massachusetts, is it 420 friendly? Is
It's legal, baby.
It- what? It's
not
legal?
even decriminalized. It's legal.
It's straight legal. That's
They only
crazy.
have 2 shops in the entire state open right now. And there is traffic that goes the length of the state. It is insane. It's like there's one in way western Mass at Northampton, where Smith College is. It's a very liberal place, and another place in a bohunk hick town.
It's just like in a subway.
Fine town of Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're familiar with it then?
Yeah, it's all they talk about on the radio.
Well, that bummer traffic.
You're saying there's only 2 stores. Is it 2 like recreational stores or like medical?
There's medical.
places
There's
as
a
well?
lot of medical
Okay.
places open, but these are the 2 recreational ones.
Yeah, because when I was in LA, it had just become legal recreationally, but all the medical places were there. And my friend's like, yeah, I could take you to one of the recreational places, but they're so crowded. Let's just go to a medical
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And he downloaded an app and like paid $30. And then a doctor FaceTimed him and was like, "Oh, you look so sleepy. Here, let me prescribe you." They had to do a face-to-face consultation, so they did it on FaceTime, and it was like that
Wow.
quick. So, pro tip for those of you waiting in line.
FaceTime your doctor
Yeah,
for a
FaceTime.
prescription.
Now, just hearing about, we're in Texas. We're not a very friendly state towards drugs.
Towards anything.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
like
much.
snakes.
Yeah, it definitely frustrates me when people are like, hey, in the South, people are just nicer. Like, people are so warm down here. And it's like, well, you got to drive through a lot of West Texas to get to, like, a city.
People are just nicer. I talk to so many Chick-fil-A employees. They're so kind to me.
Yeah, everything's their pleasure. It's amazing. But just hearing about this marijuana talk, it's a bit of a culture shock. Now, Mairéad, you moved from Houston to Boston. Beyond the hippy-dippy culture you got up there, what's been the most surprising change from our comedy scene here and the Boston comedy scene up there?
It's so much bigger. I thought, Houston is like the 4th largest city, maybe 3rd now, ahead of Chicago.
Whoop, whoop. Ooh.
It's a much smaller scene.
Chicago.
in
We took their
Houston.
bean and we took their place into the population.
And they took me.
They took your murder rate.
Yeah, but I would say to a certain extent the stereotype is true that like people that you encounter on the streets are going to be meaner to you in Boston
Oh,
just
no.
automatically.
Really?
Are going to be people are ready to rage in Boston. They are just waiting for you to set them off. And in Houston, I don't feel like that same. I don't feel like people are just like ready to go like that.
Everyone kind of keeps to themselves in Houston in an
Yeah.
aggressive way,
Well-
but like not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have don't tread on me flags,
Yeah.
and then we just stay out of your way. Is Boston as spread out as Houston, or is it more?
Much more condensed.
See,
that
I
might be part of the rage.
Yeah.
There's literally signs all over the neighborhoods that says literally thickly settled that's the
I used to think that meant snow. You guys have a guess what that means?
thickly settled,
Thickly settled.
sick like SICK,
no, thick.
thick,
Sickly settled. That's how our show is.
Maybe like dirt at the bottom of a little river, a creek or something. Like a catfish would be thickly settled in a log or something.
I don't understand. Where are the signs? Are they like street signs? Like what are these
Yeah.
signs?
Yes, it's like yield, stop, thickly settled.
Wait, that just means like like this neighborhood's got some kids in it.
There's a lot of people in this area.
A lot, like a high density,
thickly settled.
Yeah.
That's so gross sounding.
Why?
It sounds like you would follow it up after you up. Be like, you up? I'm thickly settled.
I'm just imagining a Ziploc bag full of molasses.
Hey, that's sensitive in Boston, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now, since we're talking about this kind of goes into another question I wanted to ask, which is, look, when Harris Whittles was alive, rest in peace, he came through town and he tried doing some Houston-centric material, but you could tell he hadn't been here in a while, which was funny, and he like played it up.
Yeah.
But when you're doing local material, is it really just a variable, like add X, like add a stadium name, add a baseball player, or is it really you have to fine tune your joke for that city?
Yeah, did you guys change your acts up for coming back down to Houston?
For me, no. I literally,
You have one.
Kroger. I say Kroger instead of Shaw's.
Yeah.
Kroger rules.
Yeah.
I love Kroger too. That's why I said it.
Yeah, it's a joke where you just like inserts the name of a local grocery store, and you'll be surprised that people be like, "Yeah, that's my grocery store. I know that place."
I should like say HEB and see if I get a different reaction.
HEB's a good Texas wide net.
If I were at that show and you said HEB, I'd be like, Howard over butts. I get so excited every time.
So, what are some good local Boston jokes? Hey, no, come on. Why am I?
Besides you guys.
There's a lot of it, like, honestly, if someone just has the accent, like if someone just talks with their R's dropped, that's enough. Like, people love that. There's so many comics who are funnier because they just they talk like Boston trash.
Like John Gabris. His Long Island accent is what carries him, I think.
I think a lot of the time it does. That is. I mean, he's super quick. John
Yeah.
Gabris. But the Long Island accent, you're just like, oh my god, you're so freaking funny.
It helps. It adds a lot of character.
It does. It does. There's so many. I think there are so many, especially guys from the 80s boom, who now just lean hard on that dropped R. They're pushing that R into the ground.
Well, here in Houston, I think if you played up a Texas accent, you'd just be doomed to a Larry the Cable Guy kind of fate.
I think so too.
Do you guys think there's any benefit to me and Ned just becoming good old boys?
Should we start? Well, don't say it like that.
I think it's Proud Boys.
Are there a lot of Proud Boys up in Boston? We got some down here now.
We do have Proud Boys.
Yeah, we got a Proud Boy who performed
They just
at the gay
installed them while
clubs
you guys were gone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a buddy of ours was talking about there's some Proud Boy who performed at gay clubs trying to pick up women, and it's just not working for him.
Every time Raid's on stage, I'm such a proud boy.
Thanks, babe.
What? So, Ned and I, we do everything together. I imagine as stand-up, y'all perform separately quite a bit, independently of each other. Do you guys ever collaborate on things?
Yeah, we've hosted before.
I was saying that photo you sent me was you guys as Laurel and Yanni.
Yes, yeah, it was a Halloween show.
Yanni? Okay.
Yanni and Laurel.
Yanni's the pianos guy. Yeah.
Also arousing.
Well, wait. If you're paying attention to our social media feed, you can see that picture. Can you tell us, at least me, a little bit about that show?
Yeah, it's just a show run by this guy Rob Crean, who Anderson Comedy is his production name. He hosts all the all comedy shows that happen in Boston, and he has a show on Wednesdays now that's it's literally a free for all. It's whatever. If you have an idea and you just all you say is you just I want to wear t-shirts. And he's like, yeah, wear t-shirts, go for it. Yeah, you have a show Wednesday.
That's great.
And, I'm hosting a show in January where we were at a Friendsgiving party, and one of the co-hosts, this guy Liam McGurk, is so bad at charades. He's awful at charades. So that's just going to be the show. I'm going to host it, and then in between stand-ups going up or characters going on, we're just going to play charades with Liam and see how bad.
I like that.
Yeah. So this show was it was a Halloween show, and we decided what's a good topical couple costume to have, and that was out of the box. It was not just a couple. It wasn't like Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande or something. It was.
Now you said it was Laurel and Yanni.
Yeah, that was.
Yanni.
Did you
see that one?
That meme that went around.
It was a blue dress, black dress thing, but you would hear an audio file.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it sounded one way, the other way, the other way.
It's a really distorted audio file of one of those dictionary sites saying Laurel. So you either hear it saying Laurel or Annie.
Like Grover saying, like Grover saying the F-bomb.
Yes,
recently.
right now. Yeah,
Or like our podcast, a lot of people, some people hear a really good show and the rest don't listen at all. It's this crazy phenomenon.
No in between. Okay, so now let's get into what this show's really about, the parties. All right,
let's
Mairéad, I want to start with you. How are the parties different from Houston to Boston?
Good question.
Did you stop partying when you moved? I'm leaving that in Houston.
I've partied a little less. I partied more at houses recently. Yeah. Which is nice because you wouldn't think that the angry people of Boston would welcome you into their home, but they will on occasion. And then it's bombing.
They just stand by the door, like clapping their fist in their hand. Like, thanks for coming into my home. I'm still angry.
You got chores to do.
Yeah.
It's just my parents' place.
The nicest Bostonites you'll ever. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of indoors. I feel like when I'm coming down here, it's like there's the option to go outside always.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were just telling me that it was like 0 degrees last year on New Year's in Boston.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys?
It's awful.
or a warm 6
Warm.
degrees. An optimistic 6.
Did you have to like completely change your wardrobe moving up there? I feel like I don't own warm clothing. Like
I had some. I used to go to school kind of outside Boston.
okay.
Yeah, most of your clothes, you're like, burn them.
Yeah.
Can't wear them down here.
Jeez.
Done.
Yeah, man, I'm so terrified. I hate leaving the loop. So traveling, like I can't even make it to the airport to get out of town.
The weather outside of the loop too, different game.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Hey, look, if there's 2 things Houston has over any other city, it's the weather and the traffic, baby. Like, it's a little nuts.
Can you guys rename your show The Weather and the Traffic, baby?
Whenever Ned's not here and it becomes an Oops All Connie's edition, that's kind of what I do. I just bring someone in. I'm like, how was your drive? Tell me everything you did.
We should read traffic reports from like 10 years ago. This year in traffic.
Old people call in. I remember that.
I was there, man. I ran with wolves.
Shoot. Now I'm forgetting my question about parties.
Is it about New Year's Eve? A traditional party day?
Now I know what it is. So in the few cities I have traveled to, what I found is that smoking or the allowance of smoking helps people kind of get together. Like Chicago, when I went up there, nobody really smoked. Cigarettes were so expensive. And if you did see someone, they were like, oh, hey, yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit. Hey, I totally know Hannibal. Give me a cigarette. And then, that was the only way I could meet someone. In Houston, everyone's either smoking or so many people smoke, they just go hang out with them. That something you see in Boston, or am I just alone in seeing this?
No, there's definitely a lot of smoking in Boston. Almost everyone's. We're weird for not smoking.
Hey, no, kudos to y'all. Like, that is one of my resolutions in the next 5 years. I don't know when it'll take, but I'm working on it. Hey, before we keep moving on with more party stories, if anybody has a question for Shaun, Mairéad, wants to talk some smack about Boston, who cares? Give us a call at 713-526-8737. The lines are open. Speaking of talking smack, has there ever been a Houston-Boston rivalry? Like, have the Texans ever gone up against the Patriots?
The Rockets and the Celtics.
Boo!
Yeah, boo them both.
Olajuwon and Bird.
Oh, yeah. Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was really good. And people make fun of him now. But
They do. He's like a joke now. But he was
why? Because of Nick Kroll or something?
I mean, maybe. I think it's like, I think it's also like, he's like this, a lot of white people take a hold of him and like, see, we still have basketball, Larry Bird. And it's like, well, he's the one.
Yeah. He's become the prodigal son of...
After Space Jam, everything just kind of went down for him. Well, shoot. Why don't y'all tell us some party stories?
I mean, like, for New Year's Eve, have you guys gotten into any, like, crazy ragers for that? I feel like the last couple of years I've kind of, like, toned it down. But, like, when I was 21, I was like, New Year's, I gotta forget everything. Like, gonna ruin this year for myself.
Hang on, we're getting a call.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see what we got. Hey, you're on Effin Rager.
Hey, this is Van. Long time, first time.
Yo, what up, Van? How's it going?
Oh, I'm having a great New Year's Eve. How are y'all?
Doing all right. Just raging in the radio station.
You got a question for our guest?
I wanted to call and say, first of all, big fan of Mairéad and Sean Connolly's comedy. I only saw y'all a few times, but y'all were so good. And we're sorry to lose you to Boston. But I wanted to ask, have y'all had any like huge career advancements because of Effin Rager parties or parties that were Effin Ragers?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I think he was not saying, thank you for the call, Van. He was not saying because of us, which I thought like, whoa,
Well,
we have
obviously, yes.
We're going to move your careers. No, yeah, I guess like that is kind of what the show's about is like parties, you meet people all the time. Like,
yeah, Ned and I kind of met at a party.
Yeah, yeah. Have you guys had any, like, met any execs or anything or gotten shows through that? Like,
Have you at all?
Kind of. I mean, we had a fun moment at a party where we saw two friends of ours kiss for the first time, and it was extremely romantic.
Aw.
And so Sean and I went up next to them, and we also were like, well, this is the kissing spot. We're going to kiss next to them. And then they were like, oh, come on with this bit. But then we got booked on some nice shows. I think we stuck in their minds because of that parallel kissing night that we had.
now, is the kissing spot still around in Boston, and can we still get shows? Not that Connor and I will ever kiss, but if that's
If
a
it gets
spot,
the shows,
Yeah.
I'll make out with you next. I need
I'll
stage
suck
time.
your face off.
Yeah, it's just in someone's backyard.
I think the people
Coordinates,
we
man.
knew,
Yeah.
they moved, but you can always go back to that spot and just see
We'll
who
show
you
you.
can inspire.
yeah.
Right.
The kissing spot hasn't moved, just the people around it.
Ned and I have some friends. I won't name them on the show, but
I will. What you got? Yeah.
right. Hopefully, I haven't told them this story. They're a married couple, and after their first kiss, they made a tiny little plaque and put it on the bench where they had their first kiss. And so everybody walks by this bench like, who the hell are those? Hey, that like one of LBJ's friends? I don't know.
That's really cute. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. I mean, that's why I brought it up. I didn't want to make fun of them. That's not what I'm doing at all.
I want to start making plaques for different things. Like put them everywhere around town.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of plaque would you put up?
Like next to grand prize, most bushes could get like a Ned has thrown up here. Maybe I could just make that plaque around Houston.
That'd be really
Ned
funny.
had thrown up here?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Why don't you put it on one of your little stickers you make, and you can just.
You ever thrown up on a
Wow,
sticker?
I sound, I sound just like one of your dads. Like, you still making your little stickies?
Little doodles.
All right, enough about us. Let's get back into these party stories. I mean, New Year's Eve. Have you guys had bonkers New Year's Eve parties before?
Or non-bonkers. How do you like
you
to come
celebrate?
into the new year?
I threw a wild New Year's party once when I was living in Worcester with my brother, and my brother is straight edge, is not really into the partying, and became very overwhelmed by how many people were kept showing up. Like, I like unlocked the door and just like, "Come on up" was the sign outside. Like, so people were coming, like all different kinds of people, like people.
Yeah, your house was thickly settled.
It was thickly settled, and it was just like no one could move in it. It was a pretty good sized apartment, not to brag, but but like it was just like it was so packed, and I actually left. I had a show. I had a New Year's show, so I left to go do 15 minutes at a bar down the street.
There's nothing more empowering than leaving your own party and then like coming back and you're like, yes, all I have left. Like,
and I was wearing a faux fur jacket too, and I purposely like tried to look like an idiot baller. I was like, "Hey guys, I gotta go do a show. I'll be back."
Pants fall down, suspenders shoot up.
oh man.
I think you're bonkers for leaving your own house during a party. I could never do. I've left my own house when I've had like 3 people.
No, he
over.
left it with his overwhelmed brother. He was safe. It was fine.
He was good. He
was like
constantly
sipping,
picking up vases. What are you guys doing?
sipping a Martinelli's, just being really
What about you, Mairéad? How do you bring in the new year?
So last year was an anomaly. I was sick on New Year's, so we really didn't do anything. We went to the James Turrell
Ooh.
sculpture. It was not lit up.
Oh.
Kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And we watched the movie Okja on Netflix, which is about
What is Ocha?
That's
The-
the creepy pig bear movie.
genetically modified super pig that's like 500 pounds, and then this girl that's raising him in the mountains, she like falls in love with him, and she rescues him from the great agricultural farm that like takes him back. They're like, "Oh, you raised him, now we're gonna go slaughter him."
This is a bit, right?
No,
No.
it's real.
This is real.
This
It was
sounds
like
cool.
It was like a
The director, I
South
think,
Korean film.
yeah,
Okay.
South Korean film. What he did a crazy.
Did he
scary
do
movie.
Old Boy?
Yeah, he did.
Old
I think
Boy?
he did Old Boy and like
Sick.
Yeah,
I
There's
think
another one too.
And they got Andy Serkis to play the pig.
it looked
His snorts were fantastic.
it looked very silly. Was it good?
It was actually good.
It was good. It was very violent.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds really
For like
heartwarming. Yeah.
what seems like it's going to be like just like a little kid's movie, and like
Yeah.
you're ready to have your heart warmed, and it's like, well, we'll warm your heart, but first we're going to traumatize you severely.
Oh, this sounds like anime. like,
Yeah.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, yeah.
It's like Anime Free Willy in a way.
Anime Free Willy. Damn, I'm going to start a ska band called Anime Free Willy. The most aggressively.
Get ready for that fifth wave, baby.
Ooh, it's coming. That's you know what? That's my New Year's resolution. Bring the fifth wave of ska.
You? All right, Ned.
Yeah.
You. And you alone. What was the last movie that you guys were surprised by on Netflix? Or
Oh.
just like, because I saw
Everyone's
that
talking about
movie.
Bird Box, right?
I've watched like 5 minutes of it at the secret group on mute with captions. I was like, Sandra Bullock and John Malkovich? No way. And then I looked it up, I was like, oh, this is A Quiet Place. And I put it back in my thing.
Right.
It is very. I never saw A Quiet Place, so
Oh, fantastic.
I think it got ruined because I saw Bird Box first.
Yeah.
The concept is tarnished. Yeah.
I waited 6 months too long. I don't know. I feel like every now and then I see something crappy on Netflix that really blows me away.
I haven't done anything. We watched a documentary today on social media people. It was
Oh, the
real
American
depressing.
meme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
had
saw
the
that, yeah.
they had the fat Jewish on there, and when they finally busted him for stealing content, he was like, "So what, baby? Someone's got to do it." Whereas everyone else was like, "Yeah, I love being famous because my mom tried to kill my dad in front of me, and I just need love from strangers." Fat Jewish is the only one who didn't have a heartbreaking story. I mean, his dad hates him, and that was pretty. I mean, that was nice to see. What do we got? We got a comment?
Yeah, James was just coming in to say that's like he just got here, and so he wanted to ask if there was ever a fourth wave of ska.
Oh, James, that must have been when you were in space, NASA boy. You missed it.
Now we of course know that the fourth wave of ska is ska-core, the metalcore ska mix that existed for a week. Yeah.
Is ska like a Boston thing, or is that just California?
Mighty Bosstones, baby.
Oh yeah. Wait, did the Boston
Knock
still
on
play up there?
wood. Oh, they do a Halloween show every year. It's like 3 days. It's like Boston Fest. You know they have a guy in the band who just dances.
Do I? Yeah.
Same with Arcade Fire. And I think that's who I am in all of Ned's band.
And once again, Andy Serkis. Yeah.
I didn't know ska was such a big thing about. I know nothing of Boston. I know there's a lot of history there. The Tea Party, the massacre.
Happened on my birthday. Well, not my actual birthday, but March 5th was. R.I.P. Crispus Addicts.
Well, hey, when
Shouts out.
I get a notification of American history all the time on my phone, so I'll remember to message you. Hey, happy birthday, buddy.
By the way, hear about this massacre? Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I just I don't know much about other cities or anything like that. What is Grant saying?
Grant said the new Save Ferris tour is fourth wave ska.
All right, welcome to Ska Talk, everyone. If you got some ska bands that you love and you want to give a shout out, leave us a comment or give us a call at 713-526-8737. Aquabats do not count. All right.
Son, my coworker who I haven't seen in like a week. Son, I hope you're doing all right. I forgot all of you guys' names at work. I will not be making eye contact with any of you when I get back. But nice of you to drop by.
God. Man.
I am so not ready to go back to work. Are you? So you guys said you guys have been off for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go back to work on Thursday.
I didn't take any vacation all year long, and then I realized I had a vacation emergency, and I had to use it all or it would go to waste.
Wait, what? They just get rid of it? It doesn't roll over?
Yeah, well, only 5 days roll over, and I had used none. And so I had to like take off, like
Burn them.
I had to burn through them, and now I'm like, I feel like I'm just gonna go back to work and be like, wow, so much better not working for 2.5 weeks. I feel like it's only gonna make my morale worse.
Man, I've never had a vacation day. Like at any job, I'm waiting for one day to get a job where they give out vacation days. But I do imagine that I'd use them the moment I got them.
Oh, yeah.
You got to hold on to them. And then you get to Christmas. I did that last year. I was like, well, guess I have a staycation for a week. Whoops.
Yeah.
I'm taking a week off next week.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm going to go see Ned's band play on Saturday. Then I'm going to a family reunion on Sunday.
was a weird deep breath you took before that.
Oh, I'm very winded. Yeah.
Family tires me out.
Yeah, you guys saw me. I was chain smoking before the show. But yeah, I'm finally going to take a week off. I'm very, very excited. My family's coming into town. It's going to be really nice.
Where are you from?
Here.
Oh.
Well, I'm from Louisiana, but then we moved over to Texas, and then my siblings all moved
away,
and I stayed. Yeah,
Gotta hold up the post.
I regret it.
Are you doing it in Galveston, or were you?
I'm gonna spend a couple days in Galveston.
Yeah,
I mean, look, I know my mom's not listening, but Galveston sucks.
I've been told.
Have you? I'm
like
sure you've gone to Galveston, Mairéad.
Yeah, my brother got married there. I've spent some time there.
Your brother's groomsman had a good party story for his wedding. Didn't they?
What was it?
Didn't they not get a hotel room?
Oh,
They rented
it was
a limo.
People that claimed to be my friends just never booked a room to come to my wedding. So like they showed up in a limo, all of them. They were like drinking in the limo, and they got out for the wedding. And then the limo just waited for them until the ceremony was over, and they like had to leave.
And they just took a limo back home.
How many
Back
of
to
them were
Houston.
there?
Like 5.
They could have found a place to stay, I'm sure.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
big island. I thought you were going to say they slept in the limo. I was excited about that.
Yeah,
They probably did. It's a drive, right?
Yeah,
It's not
like 30 minutes, 40. It's an hour.
It's an hour.
It's
long.
an hour to get down. Yeah.
Yeah, and if
They
you
were all
hit traffic,
drinking and
forget it.
traffic. Let's get back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
please, traffic talk is back.
45 sucks.
Guys, you're in traffic. You're listening to ska music.
I mean, I hate the beach in Galveston, but if you've got a place that you can stay at or somebody's like front lawn and you can just drink beer and take in that sea breeze, that is very, very nice.
It's nice, cool art scene down there too. Like surprisingly cool.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah. The Galveston Art Center itself always has like crazy exhibits. What's his face from New Orleans is coming down. Quintron and Miss Pussycat are coming next week. We should go to that. It'll be really cool.
I'm on vacation, buddy.
I'm not going to go see a rock and roll show on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that, and there's a lot of local artists there that are like pretty active. So yeah, it's neat. It's fun.
Hey, we're getting
Beach
a call.
itself though, kind of boring.
Hey, you're on Effin Rager, Traffic Beach Talk. What's going on?
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Cool. You got a question for our guest?
I got a question for Ned.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up? Wait,
What?
can I ask who this is before you ask me a question?
Well, if this is Matt Smith, man, from
Oh, what's up, Matt? How's it going?
good. How are you doing?
Hi, Matt. Connor's here also.
Connor, we're talking. What's going on, Matt?
Well, dude, I'm eating some spaghetti right now, and I was just wondering if you had any good spaghetti recipes that you could share with everybody.
I do, actually. No, wait, no, I don't. My spaghetti recipe is get SpaghettiOs, drain the sauce, make spaghetti, use the sauce from the SpaghettiOs.
Oh, that's Chef Boyardee status, dog. I like that.
Oh, yeah. It's actually Chef Man RD, the brand I buy. It's for adults.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, keep doing your thing, man.
Right on, Matt. Thanks so much. I hope you have a good sketty. Do you guys have sketty recipes?
Great. You made some great meatballs today.
Yeah, I took my Christmas Eve dinner leftover stuffing. That was like the only thing, and I mixed it with some pork, made some meatballs.
Ooh. Are you like a natural chef? Ned and I, we try cooking at the house, but we both admittedly we're not good at predicting flavor
Yeah.
matchups.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think raccoon meat's not the way to start it.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at cooking.
I'm glad you said that because you are.
I've seen you post some of your food on Instagram, and I get very jealous. It looks so good.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes
Your tooth
Just-
falls out.
sometimes my tooth falls out because of my cooking, or I just ruin a bunch of food all at the same time because sometimes you just miscalculate. And there's like one soup that I made, and I was like, I'm going to put some olives, some old nacho toppings, and what else? Cheese in it. And
Always.
And did it go well?
the thing, it was way too salty, and the olives did not help. So
Ooh.
Sean was like, can I throw this away?
I felt like I took I was in Galveston, just riding away.
Catching that delicious foam in your mouth.
Man, this olive soup takes me right back to Galveston.
I mean, there was a little bit of that Exxon Valdez still left in it.
Hey, we got some questions here from Grant, probably talking about traffic talk. He says, how's the weather and when is Sports Beat?
Sports Beat. We already talked about Sports
We
Beat.
already did sports,
We
Grant.
talked about Larry Bird.
And we talked about traffic, the ultimate Houston sport. And the weather's crappy.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. Speaking of rager, you rage in Boston driving.
You have to. One must.
Wait.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Because I've heard from out-of-towners a lot that the Houston driving's insane. Talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Boston driving, the roads don't make any sense. There'll be like 8 lanes of traffic, and like everyone from the farthest left lane is trying to go to the farthest right lane. And so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like in Houston, they would make those huge ramps, right? So
Yeah,
they go
yeah.
over and under each other. But in Boston, they're like, nah, why fuck with it? We'll just leave it. And so just let everyone fend for themselves. Literally. Like
Yeah.
you have to, if you're too shy, you'll just never get where you're going. You'll block everyone behind you. Those people will be furious with you.
This is where
And-
the aggression's coming from on the street. It's the road.
Yeah, it's the roads themselves.
Are you, as far as road rage, are you like a silent road rager? Are you like an angry, like yell out your window? Because I'm a pretty like, okay, that's cool. Like
That's a good
how I am
question.
as road
That
rage.
is a good question. Ned, I've seen Ned do some very. I wouldn't date him based on how he does.
I get sometimes passive aggressive.
Oh, okay, so that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, some of that. And then
Interesting.
sometimes when I'm in my car alone, I'm just like, oh yeah, we're all having fun, right? Like, like yelling out my window.
Sean loves to do the thumbs up to someone that just.
I do that.
He's like, and sometimes I'm like, please don't. 'Cause I'm like, I didn't
Oh, to
realize.
Sean or to other drivers?
To Sean, because I'm like, we don't know what these people are capable of. I don't.
Yeah,
want.
sometimes I'll suck my middle finger as if it was like something else towards the other car, like, and I think about that right afterwards. Like, that was probably irresponsible of me.
I was
Yeah.
recently on the phone with my mom, and it was right after work, and I was just talking to her and talking about Christmas and how she's spending with the kids. I was like, oh, hang on a second, Mom, sorry. And I just moved away to just yell horrible obscenities at this car. You've driven with me. I don't think I'm that bad. Do you?
No, I don't think I've ever seen you like rage out on the road or anything.
If I say like old people swears sometimes, I'll just be like, oh,
Flab
you
it.
toad, you putz. I call people a putz a lot when I'm driving.
Car or not car.
Yeah, like, yeah, you friggin' putz. Look at this guy.
What's your mom's one? Oh, thumb sucking idiot. She always calls
Oh,
people
yeah, that is
thumb
what she
sucking
says.
idiots.
What I love is from the stepdads or dads of the world, it's like probably doesn't even have insurance
Jesus.
on their cell phone.
My uncle calls everyone sweetie. No matter male, female, anybody. All right, sweetie, let's get out of the way here.
That's pretty mean. Sweetie, sweetheart.
Sweetie. Yeah, sweetheart. God. There's that southern charm.
Our buddy Billy does the. How does he do it? It's just like, oh yeah, because we can turn right now.
yeah.
I guess that's how it goes.
Billy and I have a similar, yeah. We're just like, oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I guess we're all doing that today. Yeah. God. Thumb sucking idiot. I love that.
Thumb sucking idiot is
It's so like aggressive.
Are there like some really good Boston insults that you guys have picked up over the
Oh,
years?
yeah, some
I've heard
slang.
egg sucking hound down here.
Jesus, who said that?
You egg sucking hound.
That wasn't the milkman, was it?
I'm trying to think of any Boston insults.
Or just slang. Any Yankee slang.
I mean, wicked. We use wicked. Do you guys? Yeah.
I use wicked pretty frequently.
Yeah, I have heard the use of wicked. Yes.
So a lot of people would not know what I was talking about when I would like do like a comedy show. I'd be like, "Oh, it was wicked fun." They're like, "What?
What, 11 Tonys? I don't understand.
We're all defying gravity here."
Okay, so there's wicked.
Wicked.
It's awesome from up in Boston. Just the way it
I don't think
sounds.
anyone owns that.
No.
People, I thought this was a joke because it's like on bumper stickers and stuff now, but people do say pissa.
Pissa?
Like it's a good time, like a rager. Like it's a pissa.
A wicked pissa.
Whoa. That's the alternate version of our show. Effin Rager and Wicked Pissa.
We're gonna start a podcast.
You should start. If you guys start Wicked Pissa, we will promote the hell out of you guys. That would be awesome.
Welcome to Wicked Pissa.
Hey, we're down here at Effin Rager. We're dumber down here, or whatever we'll say. I don't know.
Yeah, we should change our show to Rootin Tooters. If it's gonna be a regional thing.
We're having a piss of a time up here right now.
I've never heard that. Piss. I love that.
Yeah, pissa. I like, because I mean, I didn't grow up in Boston. I grew up in the second largest city in Massachusetts, Worcester, and Worcester has its own like trashier Boston accent. It's like a more high pitched Boston accent.
It's like the Cockney of Boston accents.
Kind of, really. It's like people from Boston sometimes have a hard time understanding a Worcester accent, like when they talk. But yeah, growing up, I would see Wicked Pissa, and I'd be like, that's not real. That's fake. That's like someone like Pakaka and Harvard Yard sort of stuff. And it's true. Wicked Pissa.
What'd you just call me? No. Harvard Yard?
My grandmother is from Worcester, and she moved to Virginia to be a school teacher, and she literally would make children fail their spelling tests because her accent was so thick they would add R's where they were not supposed to be.
Wait, that's another, the pizza.
No concept of words.
Like pizza, a gender. You add the R.
Wait. Did you say pizza?
Pizza. Like we went to Love Buzz and had pizza.
Oh.
Okay, wait, one more time? What did you say?
Stupid idiot. Pizza.
Well, hang on.
I guess I'll add R's into words every
Yeah, you
once in a
sound
while.
like a friggin' idiot. When it's from Boston, it's romantic. But, well, because I'm confused, because in Worcester, people are putting R's onto it, but then you were talking about dropping the R and, like, people leaning into that. So are R's just, like, kind of...
It's
up is down, black is white when it comes to R's in Boston.
And black is definitely white. It's a very racist town.
That's one of the things I've heard of Boston.
That's a huge difference in the comedy scene, how diverse Houston is comparatively.
Really?
Yeah.
I have heard diversity complaints from people just up in Austin about Houston.
It's so much better than Boston.
Whoa.
That's good to hear.
Hey, we're number one.
Yeah. Right. That's right. You heard it on the only radio show, Two White Guys.
I think that's a very fine measure of when to stop progress. When you look and you're like, they got it worse. I think we're all right.
I'll take the win.
Oh, my goodness. How much time do we got left?
We're at 8:42.
8:42?
Pretty good. Do you guys have New Year's resolutions at all? New Year resolutions, not New Year's.
I think I'm going to... It's been a year since I've seen Okja, but I think I'm going to finally stop eating pork.
Okay.
I just got so good at cooking, and I felt a lot of sympathy for pigs because they're so smart. So I think this might be the year, 2019.
Nice.
Stop eating pigs.
We're voting. We're rooting for you.
Thanks. Rootin' Tootin'?
Yeah, rootin' tootin' for you.
Oh, shucks, Ray.
That's our only soundboard clip. It's just over and over again.
That and the guy said Ted and the Ted Cruz commercial.
Ted.
All right, what about you, Shaun?
I think I'm finally going to stop supporting Trump. I think this is
Ooh, bold.
We were going to ask you about that hat.
Yeah, here on KPFT.
No, I am going to stop drinking beer. Beer has been bad to my body.
Yeah,
but it's so easy to drink. It's just like it's cheaper and
like Lone Star. What's the Boston Lone Star?
Narragansett.
What'd
you call me?
I'm
sorry, I just feel like everything's a slang.
Down here?
I'm sure you can get. I'd be surprised if Specs doesn't have it.
What does a Narragansett look like? Is it a?
They're usually in the bomber can, the 16-ounce cans,
okay.
And it's like this very old logo from like when they first started making their beer from the Narragansett River in Rhode Island, and it's they've expanded now. They make like they make a porter and an IPA and all that stuff, but. There's
the traditional like
there's a place we love going to in Worcester called the Hotel Vernon, and they dollar drafts a Gansett there.
Ooh.
So
Is it anywhere near the kissing corner? I'm just planning out my vacation right now.
All right, get to the top of the brewery. Yeah, and I'm gonna make my way to the kissing corner. What about you, Ned? Do you have any resolutions?
I haven't thought of anything. Each year I try to find something, like I do music, I do video stuff, I do the comedy stuff, I do drawing. So I try to kind of choose something to focus on. So I think next year is drawing. I'm going to try to put a little more energy into that. Animation, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I actually made it to the end of my resolution for this year, which was no Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
I used to have, it sounds silly, but I used to have a very big Jack in the Box problem.
Wow.
And much like beer, it was horrible for my body, and I cut it out. So I'm not celebrating by getting Jack in the Box. I think I'm celebrating by adding McDonald's to that list.
Oh, I like that.
And I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I've been cooking more. I dated someone this year who got me into easy to make, cheap, healthy meals like soba, and it's so good. Yeah. So
What is that?
Soba? Well, it's a wheat-based noodle from Japan, Nippon, as they call it over in Japan. We're very rude to the Japanese.
This is our culturally diverse. Yeah.
No, but it's just it's like a cold noodle, so it takes 5 minutes to boil up, and then you run cold water over it, throw some soba sauce in there, maybe some seaweed. It's very good. It's very light, and in the summertime, it's a tasty treat, and it brings your blood pressure down, which I like.
Nice.
Wow. Nice tip.
This is I like all this health stuff going on right now. No,
also-
no beer. Like, this is good.
Yeah, I've noticed that fake meat, I used to be like a vegetarian for like 4 years, like way back in 2006. But fake meat is actually really good. And it's really
yeah,
good
that
for you.
Beyond Burger is bonkers. I love it. It's so good. You had it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the taco of it at Velvet Taco. Or was that Beyond Burger? That was a...
What's the burger? It's the near burger. What's it called? The fake.
The Impossible Burger?
The Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Hot
stuff
dog.
is
That's a good
crazy.
burger.
And say up north, it's called the Wicked Pissa Burger.
They call it a wicked pissa with cheese.
Extra piss.
It's organic cat piss, guys. Free range cats.
That is cool. Like, man, being vegetarian now has got to be so much easier because there's just so many like options like that.
Yeah, now they have fried
Killer.
cheese and like all the greats.
I had a friend who was vegan in college who just like ate Funyuns all the time. It's vegan. It's like,
I used to eat like
yes,
bean
healthy.
sausage. It was like a bean curd sausage, and my
That
family
sounds
would.
kinda good.
It was not. Back in 2006, and my family would like be like, "Oh, hey, can I try some?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And then they'd try it and be like, "Not for me." And I'd be like, "Thanks, it wasn't for you in the first place. I made it for me."
Every sibling in my family is currently or has been in the past a vegetarian, and my oldest stepbrother did it because he watched a nature documentary and got very upset, and he's like, I can't do this, I can't kill anything, why can I eat something like that? He had moral reasons. My sister, I believe, for health, and she's a model, so to like maintain her physique, stuff like that. And it got so complicated every holiday for my mom to make all these different meals that she was getting quite frustrated. And eventually my brother, Nathan, he decided to go vegetarian, and when my mom asked him why, he said spite. It's like, I just don't like hearing you complain. He was a vegetarian the shortest amount of time.
Yeah, spite won't take you that far.
Yeah, and I never did it. I'm like, give me all that meat, fine.
I think it will. I feel like all my resolutions that I make out of spite are the ones that really. That's where I go the furthest. I started
ones
doing
that
comedy
stick,
out of
yeah.
spite.
I'm the same way. There was a huge project I did in college that I'm quite proud of, but at the end of the day, the only reason it got off the ground was because an ex-girlfriend said, you'll never do it.
Yes.
I was like, screw you. I'm going to be the biggest name on this campus. And,
And there his name was on the sex offender list.
all right, buddy.
Capital
All
letters.
right.
you did it. We're so proud of you, pal.
Oh, boy.
Banned from the kissing spot.
The plaques are literally next to each other.
Jeez. All right, pal. Man, no one's going to kiss me on New Year's Eve now. Like, no, I'm a wicked kisser, not a wicked pisser. Come on.
Wicked kisser.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, I think that about...
Yeah, we're at 8:48.
Well, heck, I don't know if anybody's coming in after us. We got technically 12 minutes as
We could
opposed
go
to
as
the normal
long as we
format.
want.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Do you guys have any bits, any goggles you want to throw?
You guys juggle or anything?
Last show, 2018. We gotta wrap this up. Now, what shows are you guys most excited about in 2019?
I'm excited to be planning the next year's Woo Nanny. We're going to be actually taking submissions this year. We want comics from out of town to come in. Wink, wink,
Yes,
hint, hint.
we plan on it. Yeah.
Don't worry, buddy. We know a lot of people. All right, next.
Yeah, who's the guy who called earlier?
So the Woo Nanny Festival.
Woo Nanny Festival. I'm proud of. I'm bringing my hot dog show to Boston. It's only
we
been
didn't
in
get
Worcester.
to talk about
Yeah,
hot
well,
dog
we've
show.
got time.
Yeah, we got time.
Hot dog show. What is this hot dog show?
Hot dog. It's there's a wheel. And the comics spin the wheel, and then they find out what their set's going to be. There's different games on the wheel, but there's also like left turns and right turns you can take when you land on things. Like one of the things you land on is called hot dog. You get a free hot dog, but then it's whatever my co-host Brian O'Donnell decides you're gonna do during your set. Like sometimes it's like for Christmas he took hot dogs from the place and wrapped them up in a gift and gave it to him. He's like, you have to eat it while you're doing your joke. You have to always be eating your hot dog while telling your jokes. And there was a ventriloquist dummy once where you had to do your whole set as a ventriloquist act. All different kinds of stuff.
I got telephone one time. I had to tell my set to the bartender, and then he would tell it into the mic. He misheard me one time. Something about my aunt's whatever. It might be a bad word. It was great.
I really like the telephone idea. That's fun.
It's really fun. I tried to use just that bit as a whole show. Or what I would do, so say the four of us are on the show.
Yeah.
You guys would know, we're all on the show, but you wouldn't know who you're paired up with. And I'm like, I'm Ray and Ed. And then I would, you guys have the time it is for the first feature comic to go on is 10 minutes, and you guys just tell each other your bits. You're 5 minutes. All right, Ned, you list off all the things. Mairéad lists all the things to you. And then you have to go up just based off those 10 minutes of talking to each other. You have to now do 5 minutes of material.
Did it work out?
Oh, it was so fun.
That sounds like a blast. I really want to do that show.
That's
You guys,
good.
Hey, make the Wicked Pissuhs show down here and do it.
All right, Mairéad, what about you? What shows are you excited about next year?
I'm excited to be on all of Shaun's shows through, what's that word? When you get opportunities because nepotism.
Nepotism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marriage. You can call it that.
Or as Connor calls it, nepotism.
It is true. That is what. That's the secret word I have for when I pretend to be one of his roadies, and I just carry his equipment in. Good old nepotism.
And as I call it online, neopetism.
Tom, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss before I move into our last segment? Any other shows next year? No? All right.
That's it, yeah.
All righty.
The final one of 2018. Here it is.
It really is.
Maybe we should just drop the bit.
Let me. Well, I'm not going to do that. But before this bit, I will say to our guest, I'm sorry. All right. It's easier when people listen to the show. I don't get as embarrassed when I have to. I want a new plug. Tell me what's going on. Tell me all the stuff you're doing after I sing this song. All right, guys. If you have anything you'd like to plug, now is the time. We'll go around. We'll start with Mairéad.
Shaun?
I am your calendar. I literally, she doesn't remember any shows, and I'm like, oh, you have a show tonight. And she's like, oh, what, I do?
I'd like to plug my manager, Shaun.
I know for a fact. I mean, we're doing hot dog in Boston at the Wonder Bar, thanks to the Thunder Bar Comedy Festival. We're doing hot dog there at 9 o'clock on January 16th. All you Houstonites, come on out.
Yeah.
Are y'all doing any other shows while you're in town now? Or y'all?
This is our last
this is
one.
the final.
This is the
Whoa!
final stop.
All right.
Yeah.
This is good.
Now get out of our state now. Also, how can we follow you guys? Instagram, Twitters, on any of that business?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram as Mermaid Elaine.
Yeah, and I'm Instagram Sir Sean Connolly.
Excellent.
And then at Woo Comedy Week as well.
Okay, is that WU or WOO?
WOO.
Woo Comedy
Week.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that Ned and I will definitely be following that. We'd love to get up there.
Oh,
yeah,
of
hopefully
course.
we see you up there for the festival.
Yeah. Hey,
if you like our
I'll leave the
submission.
city. That'll be my one time leaving the city this
A
year.
vacation to Worcester.
Worcester, Massachusetts, where anything can happen. All right, Ned, you got anything to plug?
In about 1 hour, I will be playing a house show with Swimmer Department. Next week is Bowie Elvis Fest in Houston. The week after that, Bowie Elvis Fest in Austin. We'll be playing a Labyrinth cover set with Swimmer Department, and I'm really excited about it. We have costumes. Mine's not done, but Jeremy's looks incredible right now, so I'm really excited about that. Every Thursday at Secret Group is Futile Society Improv. Come check that out, 8 p.m., $5. That's all I got.
All right.
What about you?
What I would love to plug is this Saturday at the Bowie Fest that Swimwear Department will be playing at. I will be carrying Ned's bass to get into the event. You can find me, hit me up. I'm on Instagram at CryptoCurrency. Find me. January the 12th.
I really overshot there.
Look, guys, it's been a long year. All right. On January 12th at the Secret Group, I will be participating in a show called Let's Settle This. It's a comedy debate show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see how that all plays out, so please come out and check it out. You can find more information on the Secret Group's Facebook page. I don't know how much it costs.
Sorry, I'm laughing. This song's getting out of control. I don't think we've ever gotten this far into it. The horns are going crazy.
I mean, we've got about 30 seconds. Other than that, I don't really have anything on the books other than our show every week. I'm sure at some point we'll be doing something for...
another one of the stream shows are going to come out. Yeah.
Also February 14th, I'll be on Faking It at Station Theater. And on the 16th, Effin Rager will be doing, once again, a live show at Station Theater.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reading my calendar on that one.
No problem. Holy crap.
It's over.
The song ended. All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much, guys.